Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Hey viewers, today we have Mamta Lakhani with us. So she is a BCom graduate from Mumbai University, later on completed MS from NL Dalmia. So today sharing his scoop with all of us. So hi Mamta, how are you?
Hi sir, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So how is lockdown treating you?
Well, lockdown is treating us really good, at the same time very much crude. We have work from home going on, so stressful days. Earlier we were working for 5 days a week. Now we are working like at least 6 days a week. So it's been very stressful in that case. But the good thing is that you don't have to travel. So that is really one
Right.
good thing. Yeah. Otherwise
Nice.
it's good.
Awesome. So Mamta, can you brief about your profile to the viewers?
Okay, so I'm currently working at Infinity Retail Limited, Tata Croma support office. I am into finance there, working as a senior executive in banking and treasury. So my day-to-day work there is to manage the funds of the company and arrange funds for the company. So on a day-to-day basis, if you ask me what my routine is, I usually handle funds there, managing payments through the day. Yeah, that is all
Okay,
I'm doing currently.
great. And when did you completed your MMS from NL Dalmia?
So I completed my MMS in Anand Dalmia in 2019, and after that I directly got a job.
Okay,
So
so
I
that
started my job
was
in April. Yeah,
so 2017-19 is the batch, right?
yeah.
Okay. And which all entrance did you appear for?
So I appeared for a lot of entrances. At first I gave CAT, then I appeared for ZAT, NMAT, SNAP, CMAT, and then finally CT.
Okay, great. So all the entrances wherever you can
Yeah,
score well.
majorly, majorly all of the entrances.
Awesome. And at which place you scored better?
So it was of course CET and CMAT that I scored the most in, and that is how I got into MBA. So I got into NL Dalmia through my CET score, which was around 96 to 97%.
Okay, nice. And was it the Hindi minority quota?
Yeah, so I got into Dalmia through Hindi linguistic quota, because at 96 also you wouldn't get into NL Dalmia. Colleges like NL Dalmia and Wellinger and KJ are decent enough that you do not get into these colleges by scoring at least 96 or 97. So yeah, so I got into Hindi linguistic quota.
Okay, great. So any idea? So is 96 or 95 cutoff of NL Dalmia for Hindi linguistic? Because many students ask generally what is the cutoff for Hindi linguistic minority?
So, sir, if you ask me, I think the cutoff varies from year to year. So, I think during my time, the cutoff was around 93 percentile for Hindi linguistic quota. But year
Okay.
on year, it kept on increasing. And now, I think last year, one of my friends got into Dalmia by scoring, I think, around 95 percentile. That was the last cutoff.
Okay. Fair. Okay, so let's go a bit in flashback and let's understand your preparation journey. So when did you thought of doing an MBA and how was your preparation journey for this MBA entrances?
So, let me take you through my journey. So, the moment that I thought of doing MBA was when I had no option with me left. So, I started preparing for CA, CPT, but then I don't know, for some or the other reason I flunked in CPT, and I was going through a little breakdown at that point in time. But then after I realized that okay, this is something that I need to do. MBA is something, because I always had this craziness or this goodness about numbers. So I wanted to get into something which will help me at a later stage to show my skills. So when I researched about MBA, I researched about all the fields of MBA like marketing, HR, finance. So I thought of doing MBA where I realized that okay, MBA could be one thing where I would improve myself as a person, and at the same time I would get my technical skills or my finance skills enhanced. So that is when I decided that okay, I am ready to go for this, and that is how it all went.
Okay, and how was your preparation journey?
I think I started preparing for MBA a year ago. So it was my final year of graduation. So I had to focus on two things. One is CAT and second is final year of my graduation. So we had board exams. So that is why I did not focus much on CAT, and I realized after CAT that there are a lot of things that I am lacking in. So if you ask me what I learned from CAT, so there are a lot of things that I was lacking in. Majorly, one being the knowledge, second being categorizing, third being decision making power, fourth being time management skills, and fifth, of course, practicing. So all these things, when I was giving CAT, I had realized that okay, I am going to mess up with this exam, but I'm not going to do that after my CAT. So I started preparing for all these things. So knowledge, of course, I gained from my mentors. And after that, I made my decision making power more strong. So what I did was, in order to categorize, what I did was I analyzed what my weak and what are my strong subjects. So verbal was the weakest subject that I had at that point in time. And cons and playing with numbers was one of my strong sections. So what I did was I made my weak subjects come to an average and made my strong subjects a little stronger so that it gets compensated at a later point in time. So if I do not know one or maybe say a lot of questions in one section which is the most difficult, I could score in the other one. So that is how I enhanced my knowledge, my decision making power, because when you are giving an entrance exam, categorizing becomes very much important, because you will only come to know that a section is difficult if you know about it. Okay, so this happened, yeah. So this happened during my CAT, that I spent too much time on verbal, because I clearly remember during my time when I gave CAT, verbal was the most difficult section and quant was the easiest one. So I thought of no, मैंने verbal सोचा है, so I will do verbal only. So I ended up missing that exam, and I know that my energy when I got into quant. So quant was the last section that I had scheduled. So when I got into cons, I was so much exhausted. My mind was so much drained that I could not even solve the easiest of the questions at that time. And this thing I realized after that, that okay, categorizing is very much important. So if you don't know a question, you don't know a question. You don't waste your time in that question. You move ahead and then you solve the questions that you actually know. So I did that one mistake, but then I made sure that I do not do it in the subsequent exams that I am giving. So that is how I made up my categorizing stronger. I've made up my knowledge stronger. Then the most important thing was practicing, of course. So I made sure that after CAT, I am going to give at least 2 mocks a day. I made sure, and from that till CET, which was the last exam, I made sure that I am practicing much enough to make my mind respond to the questions better. So the time management skills that I'm talking about, so it is very much important when you're giving an entrance exam to decide that, okay, this is the question that I'm not going to do in a very limited period of time. So if you look at the question and you realize, okay, this is not my cup of tea, I'm not going to do this section. So that is how you make yourself a little stronger by practicing. So I would tell you one glance from my CET when I was giving my CET. So there was only 2 minutes remaining to finish the exam of CET, and I had solved all the questions basically. So CET is comparatively easier than that and then CAT, of course. So CET was easy for me. I solved the questions that I knew. I skipped or I just randomly picked out an option that for the questions that I didn't know. So there were only 2 minutes for the exam to finish, and there was about, I think, 35 to 40 questions left. So I just thought that of course दिमाग लगा के तो होने वाला है नहीं. So I put out this logic and I marked B as an option for all the 35 to 40 questions that I had, because there was only 2 minutes remaining and nothing could happen in that 2 minutes. And I think that paid off, and my bar of percentile was a little larger than I had thought because of those 35 to 40. Because of course, out of 35 to 40 questions, I think you will have 6 to 7 questions that will have B as an answer. So that is how I prepared myself. That is how I analyzed the skills that I'm lacking in. And that is how my journey of preparing for entrance exams, giving it to the full, has been.
Okay, nice, nice. So I remember a quote that luck favors only those who are hardworking.
Hmm.
Uh, so you are done with your CET and you are done with your CMAT. So which all calls, apart from NL Dalmia, which all other calls did you had?
So I had a couple of calls from Wellinger, KJ Somaya, Great Lakes, and IBM. So I would specifically like to talk here about one of my interviews, which was NIBM. So NIBM is National Institute of Banking and Management, and I really, from the very start, I really wanted to get into something like this. So I applied for NIBM, and I got shortlisted for GDPS. So GD, I think in GD you have different colleges have different aspects. So you get a random topic, you get an abstract topic, you get something from the current affairs. It completely depends on the college. So I don't remember the GD topic as such from NIBM, but I clearly remember how my interview had gone at that point in time. So the interview that I gave at NIBM was very much technical considering a fresher. So if you ask me, a journey for a fresher, interview journey for a fresher is like very much difficult. So when I got in for that interview, my interview lasted for an hour, and the only thing that they did was to grill, and grill. Like it was completely a stress interview. I had figured it out. So I did not know the questions. I did not know the answers to the questions that they were asking. Like a lot of them, I didn't answer because of the fact that I'm a fresher and I do not know much about banking. So but the only thing that kept me through the interview was that my attitude, and I always kept smiling throughout the interview. Although I was under a lot of stress, I was I was very much pressurized, and in my mind it was going on कि यहाँ से मैं कब निकलूं. But it was very much a lot of experience that you get in that interview. And I was on waiting list number 6, although did not get converted, but it was a really good experience that I had there. The stress interview that I experienced there was one of a kind. Yes. So I just want to say that whatever the kind of interview is that you are giving, the GD. So I realized that I was not a GD kind of person. So that I will speak about later on. But considering the GD and interview process right now, I would just want to say that whatever the kind of interview that you are having, just be calm. Just make sure that you do not give out the worst. Just be calm and just have that positive attitude.
True, 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 true.
Yeah.
And any other experience like apart from NIBM, Wellinger, or any other institute?
Yeah. I converted a call from IBS Hyderabad. So I think the IBS Hyderabad journey was very much smooth for me. So I have a really good academics, and IBS Hyderabad looks for academics. Like academic background should be really good. So my interview process, my GD process, I remember that was an abstract topic that they had given us. So not remember the topic, but the journey was smooth. In GDP, I spoke like 2-3 points, and then the interview lasted for like I think only 5 minutes or so in IBS Hyderabad. They had just asked me about my academic achievements, about what do I do apart from studies and all these things. And after that, I know that I got converted. I got IBS Hyderabad converted. So honestly, I had two options: either to go to IBS Hyderabad or to go to NL Dalmia. So I chose NL Dalmia because I compared the money that I am putting into. So if you are considering MBA, you are obviously going to see the financial investment that you are doing in a college. So I realized that although I'm going to get the exposure when I get into IBS Hyderabad, the average ROI, the average return on investment is almost the same in both the colleges. So here I was spending around, I think in IBS Hyderabad, I was spending around 20 to 25 lakhs. And in NL Dalmia, I was spending only around in 7 to 8 lakhs. So I thought, why put in that much money when you're going to get average ROI in that college itself? So I chose NL Dalmia over IBS Hyderabad.
Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, so you got the correct percentile, you went for the college, you appear for GDP and other processes at different colleges as well. So how was your 2 years journey at NL Dalmia? So can you give us certain insights which only a student would be knowing about?
Sure. So if you ask me, these 2 years are going to be the most incredible years of your life, I'm telling you. So when I got into Dalmia, so NL Dalmia has this annual event at the start of your MBA called Akarshan, which is something to get along to for the students to get along with each other. So it was that kind of an event, and it was like around hundreds of events in 2 days time, and that was the most incredible 2 days that I have had in London Dalmia. After that, I think MBA journey in any college for you is going to be a grown-up journey. So it's a complete power pack of all the skills that you require. So I was enjoying at the same time I was gaining knowledge also. The faculties there are really really good. So I wanted to get into finance. So and NL Dalmia is known for its finance. So the finance faculties there are very much helpful. You get a lot of insight, you get a lot of knowledge, and that is how you prosper in the whole 2 year journey. So I completely remember that the Mamta you remember at the end of first year and the Mamta that you remember at the end of second year were completely two different personalities, I would say. So because I was such a grown up person, I have outgrown myself. If you talk about it. So yeah, that is how this journey has been. A lot of enjoyment, a lot of skill setting, a lot of studies you get there. Yeah, of course.
Okay, nice, nice. So I'm sure this were the moments that you still remember, the
Yes,
college
a
moments.
lot of memories. You will really miss your MBA days when you get after
Agree, 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 agree.
it.
Okay, that's it from my side. One last but not least, any pro tip for the students who are preparing for MBA entrances?
So from my journey, I would only like to give one tip to the students who are aspiring MBA, that practice, practice, and practice, because that is what paid off for students who are doing it. So just practice, just give 2, 3 mocks a day, and just make your brain respond to the questions faster. So that will help you, and that will really be an upside from my side.
Okay, thank you so much, Mamta, for sharing your experience, for sharing your scoop with all of us,
Thank you.
and we wish you luck for your future endeavors.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.